In this episode, I'm getting back on that Luxkit A3400 preamp that was a bodged build and a bodged repair for the last guy that was at it. It had some noise problems. I got back onto it, found the problem actually fairly quickly. So let's recap what I found before and then look at what the fix was. The problem with these is, well, a lot of them were built by amateurs. You might as well be a Heathkit. And this particular one, listen to what happens when you press the tone button. Now, it shouldn't do that. This was brought to me by a guy that bought this thing off eBay, and this is how he got it. Now, the volume control didn't work properly on it, and he took it to another shop, and they put a new volume control in, but when you put the tone on, it doesn't have the gain, or tone defeat. Actually sounds better than the tone. So every time you switch it, and when you switch the controls, when I go down to -5, listen how much louder it pops up. When I go down to -5, it's actually louder. So I might even just walk away from this thing, because I opened it up to look inside it, and well, this is what I discovered. I mean, I'm gonna have to completely rework this whole entire unit for this fella, and I don't know, how much he's gonna want to spend, but I'm certainly not gonna do this for nothing, that's for sure. Check this out. What the crap is that? It's like, oh my God, what am I getting myself into? I might be further ahead just to walk away from this thing before I invest any time. Although I'd really, this would be a nice piece when it's working, but I mean, I'm just looking at this horrendous solder job on here. Like, these switches, somebody has shorted them together. So basically, I'm going to take off all that blob of solder and just try and rewire the switch and repair some of the damaged traces in here and see whether that's going to solve some of my problems. And it did, but it didn't get them all going. So we'll show you what I got to at the end of this, and then I'll get back into it and we'll show you what I found today. 126 volts on the switch. Yeah, no wonder we're getting that big pop. Yeah, there's something seriously wrong on this board, and I'm going to wait until the owner of this comes up with a construction manual, or, well, it'll be a construction manual for this. I'm going to throw it back in his court and put this thing together. I've got it working better than it was. I've still got a problem with this filter, and until I know what way this thing is actually supposed to be wired, because this had all kinds of shorts on it, and until I know how this is supposed to be wired, I think I'm wasting my time. Fast forward to today, I've got a partial schematic, and we're going to sit down and see if I can quieten this thing down a bit. Something down here. Something down there. Okay, this noise is only being introduced in the low cut filter position. When either the low cut filters are on, it's making this racket. If they are bypassed, it's not. It's not making all the rumbling noise anyway. Here's the rumbling. I think it's really only doing it in the 15 hertz mode too. The 80 hertz mode doesn't appear to be doing it. although it does give a loud thump when you cut it in. That filter is definitely not working. It's probably why the last guy had worked on this bypassed those filters completely. Bolts. And the 6 should also be the same. 2. Something about the wiring down in here, it just, this is where the last guy that worked on this thing had the switch all shorted out, and I've got the bridges back in where they belong because there was traces in here that were damaged, and it's a headphone jack there. I'm just examining this for any bridges. Because the noise only comes back when you put the low pass filter on, which is this switch down here, which is this bottom switch. When the low pass filter is not on, it's not making all that rumbling sound. Okay, that might be a bit of a bridge right up in the front here. I'm just gonna redo this thing. That might have been a little bit of a, it looks like it might have been a little bit of a bridge right here on this terminal of the switch. Let's just try this and see whether I got lucky. Just see, it's been so long since I've worked on this because I was trying to locate a print for it, which I finally found a print that shows me enough of the circuit. So let's just see whether I get any noise. I'll turn it on and let it warm up here. Now, if you guys remember from part 1, but when this switch was all shorted up, every time you turned any of the bass or treble controls, it went thump, 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 thump. And when I fixed what I thought I got the switch, it cleared up the noise when you changed the bass and treble switches, but it was still making a lot of noise. It was humming, and it was noisy. Especially when you put on the filters now. I'm just waiting for this thing to kick in. Okay, it's kicked in, so I don't hear any noise. Base is working. Filters. That one still clicks when it kicks in, but no rumble. No more rumble. That might have been it. Still, when you turn the high pass filter on it, when you change the modes on it, it pops a bit. But how often do people turn high pass filters on and off? They don't. Right, left, left plus right, stereo, and reverse. Monitor, microphone, loudness, level, minus 18 dB or plus 6. Left, right, center, balance. I think this thing's... I hear no more hum. Could it be this thing's fixed? And that's all it was a stupid ground? I think that was a ground pin. Could be. I'm going to send this thing back and get it out of my hair. Stupid YouTube music channel, YouTube music service. This is of course YouTube Music Library. Woohoo, I think this thing's fixed. I think this thing's fixed after all this time. And I just missed it by that much because I was working on that switch before. That's because, if you remember part one, whoever got into this thing before, it just totally bodged up the switch and had all kinds of things jumpered and there was traces broken everywhere. And I did that. I thought I had it before, but I guess I just missed one connection. Because now it's sounding good. As you can see, somebody's replaced all the caps on this before. Somebody's gone a little bit hog wild and changed a bunch of resistors on it in the past too. But someone's changed all the caps in this in the past. All these high voltage caps have been changed. That happened before it crossed my bench. Okay, I'm going to put this thing back together and send it home. Get this one out of my hair. It's been here too long. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one real soon.